The store lights flickered once, the universal sign that the night was over. It was 9:57 p.m., 3 minutes before the official closing time of Family Mart number 4827, and the last customer in line was already tapping his foot like the world owed him something. Mia stood behind the counter, apron wrinkled, dark circles under her eyes that no amount of concealer could hide anymore. She was 22, a full-time college student by day, and the only closing cashier tonight because her coworker had called in sick again. Her hands moved automatically, scan, beep, bag. She hadn't sat down in 7 hours. Her feet throbbed inside her worn-out sneakers. The man in front of her wore an expensive watch that probably cost more than her monthly rent. Designer coat, polished shoes, the kind of smirk that said he'd never been told no in his life. "Do you even know how to work that thing?" he snapped as she scanned his energy drink for the third time because the barcode kept failing. "I've got places to be. Some of us actually matter." Mia forced the customer service smile that didn't reach her eyes. "I'm sorry, sir. The scanner's been glitchy all night. It'll just be another second." He leaned forward, voice dripping with mockery. "Another second? Sweetheart, I don't have seconds for people like you. You probably spent high school doodling hearts in your notebook instead of learning how to do a real job." The fluorescent lights buzzed louder in the silence that followed. The only other sound was the soft rustle of someone shifting in the snack aisle behind him. Mia's throat tightened. She wanted to say she was paying her way through nursing school. She wanted to tell him her mom had died last year and left her with hospital bills she'd never finish paying off. She wanted to scream that she hadn't slept in 2 days because finals were next week and her little brother needed lunch money and the electric company had sent another red notice. But she swallowed it all and whispered, "That'll be $4.29, sir." He tossed a $5 bill at her like it was trash. It fluttered to the counter instead of her hand. "Keep the change. Buy yourself some speed. Or maybe a personality." He grabbed his drink and strutted toward the automatic doors that hadn't opened yet because the system still thought the store was open for 2 more minutes. That's when the voice came from the chip aisle. Pretty big talk for someone who just got owned by a barcode. The rude customer froze. Mia's eyes flicked up. A man stepped out from behind the Doritos display. Tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a faded army jacket and carrying a small basket with milk, bread, peanut butter, and a single box of off-brand cereal. His dark hair was messy, and there were tired lines around his eyes that made him look older than he probably was. A little boy, maybe 5 years old, clung to his leg, peeking out with huge brown eyes. The rude customer turned slowly. "Excuse me?" The man in the army jacket didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. There was something quiet and solid about him, like a mountain that had already decided it wasn't moving. "I said," he repeated, walking forward until he stood between the rude customer and Mia, "you talk real big for a guy who just threw a tantrum over 71 cents. The rude customer puffed up. "Do you know who I am?" "Don't know." "Don't care." The man set his basket on the counter gently, right next to Mia's shaking hands. "But I know who she is." He turned to Mia, voice softening. "Hey. You okay?" Mia opened her mouth, but nothing came out. She just nodded once, quick and small. The rude customer laughed, sharp and ugly. "Oh, this is precious. White knight coming to save the damsel at the convenience store. How adorable." The little boy tugged on his dad's sleeve and whispered, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Daddy, why is that man being mean to the nice lady?" The dad crouched down, ruffling his son's hair. "Some people forget how to be kind when they think no one's watching, buddy." Then he stood up again, looked the rude customer dead in the eye, and spoke with the kind of calm that made the air feel heavier. "I'm going to say this once," he said. "You're going to apologize to her. Right now. And then you're going to walk out that door and hope you never run into someone who's had a worse day than you just made hers." The rude customer scoffed, but it was weaker now. Or what? You gonna fight me in a Family Mart? The dad didn't answer with words. He just reached into his jacket pocket slowly and pulled out a worn leather wallet. Flipped it open. Inside was a military ID and a badge that caught the light. The rude customer's face changed. The dad didn't say what branch. Didn't need to. The way he held himself, the way his eyes didn't blink, said enough. Silence stretched like a wire about to snap. Finally, the rude customer muttered something that might have been an apology if you squinted and turned sideways. He shoved his hands in his pockets and hurried out. The doors slid open this time, like even the store wanted him gone. The dad watched him go, then turned back to Mia. "I'm sorry you had to deal with that," he said quietly. Mia stared at him, tears suddenly burning her eyes. She tried to laugh it off. It's fine. Happens all the time. It shouldn't." He looked down at his son, who was now holding the box of cereal like a teddy bear. "This is Noah," he said. "I'm Ethan. We come here every Thursday night. It's the only night I can pick him up from his grandma's after my second shift, and he likes the little toy in the cereal. I know it's almost closing. We try to be quick." Mia glanced at the clock, 10:04 p.m. The store was officially late to close because of them. She should have been annoyed. She wasn't. Noah peeked up at her. "Miss? Are you sad?" Mia wiped her eyes quickly. "No, sweetheart. Just tired." Ethan started unloading his basket. "Add a hot coffee to that, please. The biggest one you got. And one of those chocolate muffins if they're not stale." Mia rang him up automatically. Her hands weren't shaking anymore. When she handed him the coffee, he didn't take it right away. "Hey," he said gently. "You're doing good. I see you here all the time. Always smiling, even when people don't deserve it. That takes strength." Mia's voice cracked. "I don't feel strong." "You are," he said simply. "Trust me. I've seen strong. You're it." Noah tugged Ethan's sleeve again. "Daddy, can the nice lady have my toy?" Ethan looked down, surprised. "Buddy, that's your favorite part." Noah held up the box and shook it. A tiny plastic dinosaur rattled inside. "I have lots at home," he said seriously. "She looks like she needs a dinosaur." Mia laughed then, really laughed, wet and shocked and real. Ethan smiled too, soft and tired and proud. "Guess that settles it." He took the toy out of the box, a little green T-Rex no bigger than a matchbox car, and set it on the counter in front of her. "From Noah," he said. "He doesn't give these to just anyone." Mia picked it up like it was made of glass. "Thank you," she whispered. Ethan paid, left a 20 in the tip jar that had been empty for weeks, and took Noah's hand. As they walked to the door, Noah turned back and waved. "Bye, nice lady. Be brave like a dinosaur." The doors closed behind them. Mia stood there for a long time, holding the tiny T-Rex. Then she looked at the tip jar. $20. Enough for bus fare for a week. Enough to buy real groceries instead of instant noodles. She looked at the clock, 10:17 p.m. For the first time in months, she didn't mind being late. She locked the doors, turned off the lights one by one, and slipped the dinosaur into her pocket right over her heart. 2 years later, Family Mart number 4827 still had the same flickering lights and glitchy scanner. But the cashier was different now. Mia wore a nursing badge that said, Mia Rivera, RN, and only worked Thursdays, because that was the night a certain little boy still liked to come in for cereal with the toy inside. And every Thursday, without fail, a tall man in an army jacket and his now 7-year-old son would walk through the doors at 9:45 p.m. sharp. Noah would run straight to the counter and ask, "Do you still have your dinosaur?" Mia would pull the little green T-Rex out of her pocket, faded now but still fierce. "Right here," she'd say. And Ethan would smile that same soft, tired, proud smile and add a coffee and a muffin to whatever they were buying. Some nights, when the store was quiet and the world felt heavy, Mia would look at that tiny plastic dinosaur and remember the night a stranger stood up for her when she couldn't stand up for herself. She kept it as a reminder. Kindness can come from anywhere. Strength looks different on everyone. And sometimes, the most important moments happen in a convenience store 3 minutes before closing. If this story touched your heart the way it touched mine while writing it, do me a favor, hit that like button. It really helps more people find stories like this. And if you want to see more real-life inspired moments that remind us humanity isn't dead yet, subscribe and tap the bell. I post new stories every single week. Be kind out there. You never know who's holding a dinosaur in their pocket because someone once believed they were worth protecting. See you in the next one. T-Rex.